Making the headlines tonight, Prime Minister Hun Sen has announced the launch of the COVID-19 vaccination campaign for children aged 3 to 5. The permanent mission of the Kingdom of Cambodia in Geneva has released a press statement urging the UN special rapporteurs to work on the basis of facts and accountability rather than politicization. Allies confirmed that NATO's door remains open, and any decision on NATO membership is for NATO allies and aspirant countries to take. Host Cambodia chalks up its second straight victory at the AFF U23 Games, defeating the Philippines 1-0. And an Israeli farmer has grown the world's heaviest strawberry according to the Guinness World Records. This is the Daily Roundup on EAC News Channel. A very good evening to you. I am Dekanin. Prime Minister Hun Sen announced on Thursday night the launch of the COVID-19 vaccination campaign for children aged 3 to 5, calling on all parents to bring their children to get vaccinated. In the same message, the Prime Minister also announced that his 2-year-old 21st grandchild had tested positive for COVID-19. EAC News reporter Dashana Gojan has more.
In a special voice message released by Prime Minister Hun Sen on Thursday night, he stated that the reason for this decision to allow vaccinations for children aged 3 to 5 is due to the rising spread of Omicron in Cambodia and the observation that about 20% of children under 5 years of age have been infected with COVID-19. He added that even his 21st grandchild, who is just 2 years old, had tested positive for the disease. Concerned about the impact on public health, Prime Minister Hun Sen ordered the Vaccination Commission and authorities to coordinate the rollout of this campaign as soon as possible to ensure the safety of children. He called on all parents and guardians to go and get their children within this age range to get vaccinated. According to the Prime Minister, there are currently more than 700,000 children aged 3 to 5 in Cambodia. Darshana Gochan, EAC News.
The permanent mission of the Kingdom of Cambodia in Geneva has released a press statement on Thursday, February 17th, urging for the UN special rapporteurs to work on the basis of facts and accountability rather than politicization. This press statement was released in response to the latest criticism made by a group of UN special rapporteurs on Wednesday, February 16th, regarding the ongoing COVID-19 quarantine imposed on striking Naga world workers. EAC News reporter Robin Lim has more details.
The permanent mission of the Kingdom of Cambodia has stated that it deplores the misleading, irresponsible, and unfounded remarks of 4 special reporters on the health and legal measures being taken against what it states is an unlawful, month-long strike by former Naga World employees. The statement outlines 5 main points of rebuttal to the criticism of the special reporters, the first being that Cambodia's COVID-19 protocols are in full compliance with national and international law and in the interest of the public safety and order, as well as the protection of the public health and the rights and freedoms of others. The first point concludes by saying that all rights are not unlimited, and unlike some elements in favor of weaponizing human rights, Cambodian authorities always adhere to professionalism and non-politicalization of public health response. The second point of rebuttal states that the allegation that hundreds of striking workers reportedly still do not have the results or clarity on when they will be released from quarantine is one-sided and unverified, and thus a grave violation of the Code of Conduct for Special Procedures mandate holders. On this point, the permanent mission further invites the special reporters to forward concrete proof to Cambodian authorities for verification according to established rules. The third point of rebuttal states that the claim that Naga World strike is lawful is erroneous, as while workers and unions have the right to strike, they must also meet the core requirement before such strikes can be legally staged. The permanent mission outlines how the strike was declared illegal by the Phnom Penh Court of First Instance on 16 December 2021, and further states that the Cambodian authorities exercised utmost restraint and repeatedly called on striking employees to return to peaceful negotiations in good faith, take COVID-19 tests, and cease their month-long protest, which they assessed were threatening security, public order and safety, and public health. The fourth point of rebuttal specifies that the special reporter's reference to COVID-19 test results is misleading, clarifying that at least 58 protesters have tested positive since 28 January 2022, proving that the current testing regimen applied for the protesters is timely, legitimate, and necessary. The permanent mission further quotes the WHO representative to Cambodia, who said that it is now even more important than ever to reduce transmission of the Omicron variant in the community. and that now is not a good time for us to let our guard down in Cambodia. The fifth and final point of rebuttal clarifies that in the situation of World strikes, since the protesters occupy public space, their actions must be then held in accordance with the law on peaceful demonstration, not just the labor law. Hence, the permanent mission states that Cambodian authorities' restriction of strikes has not been under the labor law, but under the law of peaceful demonstration, for which Cambodia, like other democracies, has dedicated a specified area and square for those who wish to voice their grievances. In conclusion, the permanent mission states that the purported human rights experts, being not UN but serving in their individual capacity, always feel that things should have been acted differently based on their rights theory. As a final concluding message, the permanent mission posits that it is imperative for the special reporters to take into account national particularities and work on the basis of facts and accountability rather than politicalization. Robin Lim, EAC News.
The spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation has completely rejected a report alleging that North Korean spies have opened hotels, casino, and travel agencies in Cambodia, which was published in NK News on 15 February 2022. The spokesperson clarified that as a member of the United Nations, Cambodia has complied with all United Nations Security Council resolutions, closed all businesses and bank accounts owned by the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and also stopping issuing work permits to North Korean workers. EAC News reporter Dashana Gojin has the story.
In a statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on 17 February, the spokesperson for the ministry confirmed that Cambodia has complied with UN resolutions since 2018 and closed all businesses and bank accounts that involved North Korean workers. The statement said that the royal government of Cambodia established an interministerial working group on 1 March 2018 to review all documents and investigations of companies and businesses from the DPRK. Additionally, the Interministerial Ad Hoc Working Group has conducted at least 9 meetings, co-chaired by MFAIC and the Ministry of Commerce, to decide on concrete measures in compliance with various types of sanctions, as prescribed in the UNSC resolution. The statement added that as a result of these meetings, 7 bank accounts in 2 different financial institutions have been closed since 2017, and all DPRK-owned businesses, including restaurants and museums operating in Cambodia, have been shut down. In 2019, the Ministry of Commerce also deregistered the name of a DPRK-owned company, Glory Worldwide Glow Co. Limited, from its list of officially registered companies or businesses, then subsequently conducted further investigation into the full list of registered entities and found 12 companies in total, including Mansudae New Tech Corporation Limited, which were associated with the DPRK. The spokesperson clarified that all of these companies were deregistered on 30th December 2019, and 8 restaurants had their licenses revoked and shut down on 5th December 2019. Since 2017, Cambodia has completely stopped providing work permits to workers from the DPRK. As of 30th November 2019, the royal government has decided not to extend visas to DPRK citizens working in Cambodia as well. Darshana Gauchan, EAC News.
The royal government has announced the start of the booster dose vaccination campaign for children aged 5 and above. For children who are aged 6 and above, the booster vaccination campaign will begin on February 21st, while children who are 5 years old can begin their booster doses on March 11th. EAC News reporter Robin Lim has more details.
The Ministry of Health issued a statement on Thursday announcing that children of national civil servants from the age of 6 can start receiving their booster dose vaccines from February 21st at a list of specific locations, including Calamite Hospital, Ang Duang Hospital, the National Children's Hospital, the Maternal and Child Health Center, and Kanta Bopa Hospital. The statement also announced that the children of UN officials, embassy staff, or staff of national and international organizations and tycoons will be able to receive their booster dose vaccine starting from March 14. The booster dose campaign for children of civil servants, contracted officials, as well as the children of members of the general public will be prepared under the supervision of the 25 Capital Provincial Administration at various locations in the capital and in the provinces, which will be announced through a letter to the public from February 21st onwards. The Ministry of Health also highlighted that the gap between the second dose and the third booster dose should be at least 4 months. People must bring their accompanying documents at the time of vaccination, such as their child's immunization card, registration documents at the first dose, and the ID card of the parent or guardian, as well as the contractor of the parents, or children of national officials. Robin Lim, EAC News.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has expressed his concern about the spread of COVID-19 within the community in Cambodia and has instructed the relevant ministries and institutions, as well as individual citizens, to actively implement the health measures in place, get vaccinated, educate others about COVID-19 safety, promote and buy effective medication, and reduce the number of gatherings. EAC News reporter Dashana Gojan has more.
In a circular letter released on Thursday night, Prime Minister Hun Sen said that in order to ensure full functioning of socio-economic activities in all areas and to continue to ensure the effectiveness of the implementation of measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19, especially the Omicron variant, all stakeholders must follow the strict health measures in place. He also ordered for the further continuation of efforts to find effective drugs for the treatment of COVID-19, both mild and severe cases, and to ensure that the necessary drugs are not insufficient in stock and that there is timely supply and distribution of the effective drugs to treat COVID-19 at an affordable price to the public. At the same time, he added that relevant mechanisms need to be put in place to establish clear guidelines and widely publicize the use of COVID-19 medication, ensuring the effectiveness and safety of those drugs to the public. Regarding gatherings and meetings, Prime Minister Hun Sen has encouraged the general public and organizers of events and social activities such as religious programs, traditional programs, sports, or entertainment programs to reduce the number of participants to a minimum and to ensure the implementation of individual and social safety gaps in accordance with context of each program location. At the same time, organizers of social gatherings and events, as well as all program participants, are encouraged to use COVID-19 test kits and check COVID-19 vaccination cards before allowing participants in as a precautionary measure. On Thursday night, Prime Minister Hun Sen also announced the beginning of the vaccination campaign for children aged 3 to 5, after he expressed concern about the impact COVID-19, particularly the Omicron variant, was having on public health in Cambodia. Darshana Gauchen, EAC News.
Airavata Elephant Foundation held its annual charity gala at the Raffles Le Royal Hotel on February 12, 2022. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, they were unable to host the gala last year. Fortunately, with the guidance of the Ministry of Health, Airavata was able to host their fundraiser this year to help conserve the elephants in Ratnakiri province. This gala was also an important event to officially present to the world Noel, a female calf that was born late in the night of Christmas 2021. EAC News attended this event to see what kind of work Airavata Elephant Foundation is doing and what it hopes to achieve from this charity gala. EAC News reporter Robin Lim will tell you all the details.
I
started this foundation from my passion for elephants. Secondly, I worried about the loss of elephants in Cambodia, especially in Ratnakiri. Thirdly, I want to contribute to ecotourism.
Chenda Kleis has worked in the hospitality industry for over 20 years. She first moved to Ratnakiri to start a hotel, but when she saw the declining quality of ecotourism related to elephants and how they were not a lot of standards on properly caring for the animals, she decided to take matters into her own hands.
Foundation ហ្នឹងយើងបានចុះឈ្មោះជាផ្លូវការហ្នឹង6ឆ្នាំហើយប៉ុន្តែយើងចាប់ផ្ដើមធ្វើការ
The family has taken care of elephants since 2015, but Airavata Elephant Foundation was registered 6 years ago. At first, my family used our own money to buy elephants from the villagers who no longer wanted to take care of them because it takes time, money, and power to take care of the elephants. It would be hard for them to find food and shelter for the elephants, and so they would sell them. I was afraid that those with money would buy the elephants and move them to another province or country. So when people come to visit Ratnakiri, there seems to be a big empty gap. Because when you visit Ratnakiri, you will see lakes, mountains, farms, waterfalls, but miss the elephants. The loss of this is quite big. So that is why I started this. My family foots the bill for 100% of all the expenses. Until 2018, we received support from the Queen Mother, $20,000. Then we received another $20,000 donation from the Ministry of Environment annually. We also received support from many kind strangers who have seen our good work and how expensive it can be, so they provide help during our charity event. We have also received support from the Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Information, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, and many other institutions, including the private sector. Friends also help, of course, but it's still not enough.
Notable guests at the charity gala include the Minister of Information, Keo Kanarit, General But Sopiep, Brett Sarita, Tim Rota, Mom Vandi, Sorian Hang, Sun Pisay, Satya, El Bokotao S3 and Fight Company, and many more. The night was filled with excitement over the new MOU signings, contemporary dance, singing recitals, auction, a Bokotao show, and a fashion show. There were also small pop-up stalls from Faceline, Amara, Wing, Kampuchea Paramed, JEB, and Danama Taylor that pledged to donate 50% of their sales that night to Aravata. When skeptics badmouth Aravata Elephant Foundation, Chenda says she likes to let the work speak for itself. Showing a video of the work accumulated throughout the years, moreover, the many people present at the event further proves the amount of support the foundation received. Pognya Sophia and attendees shared the reason why she supports Aravata.
តបតាមការអញ្ជើញរបស់គាត់ខ្ញុំមិនសូវអាក់ខានទេលុះត្រាណាតែខ្ញុំដូចថាចេញទៅក្រៅប្រទេសអីចឹងណាខ្ញុំគិតថាឆ្នាំនេះដូចជាចូលឆ្នាំទី
I rarely miss this annual gala unless I'm out of the country. I want to inspire support because there are so few elephants and they are getting old. Not everyone can take care of elephants. It's hard work, so I want to show my support with donations every year. I want to inspire values in our country to preserve the elephants because everyone lives with nature and elephants are a part of our culture and tradition.
ខ្មែរយើងគឺកម្រមែនតើ
Also in attendance that night was former Miss Universe Cambodia of 2020, Brett Sarita, who was walking at the fashion show organized for the event.
មូលហេតុចម្បងដែលខ្ញុំគាំទ្រពេញទំហឹងតែម្ដងក៏ប៉ុន្តែមុនខ្ញុំ
I fully support this initiative because I have loved elephant long before I knew about Aravata. There are few elephants left in Cambodia, so it's important to take care of them. I met Ika of the elephant 2 years ago and I am so glad she delivered baby Noel, who I am very excited to meet. That's why I volunteered to work at the fashion show tonight.
Also working for the fashion show was model and actress Tim Rota, who further added her support for Aravata.
ធម្មតាអ្វីក៏ដោយដែលតកតងជាមួយនឹងខ្មែរដូចជាការ
I fully support everything that is Khmer culture, from elephants to clothing and more. So I see how valuable Airavata is and decided to volunteer to walk the fashion show to help raise funds for this foundation.
Likewise, the S3 and Fight Company stated that they had visited Aravata in Ratanakiri and fell in love with the elephants. As a result, they contributed pictures for the auction and agreed to also perform at the event. You can support Aravata by visiting their elephant camp in Ratanakiri. You can get involved in different activities such as bathing and feeding the elephants, taking them on a ride around the forest area, or training to be a mahout, elephant caretaker, for the day. You can also donate through their website, www.aravata-cambodia.com. Robin Lim, EAC News.
Cambodia has reported 414 new COVID-19 cases, including 26 which are imported. There have been 247 patient recoveries and once more, no new deaths. This is the 14th day straight that Cambodia has recorded triple-digit new Omicron cases, as the community cases now pass 4,000. The kingdom recorded 388 new community and 26 new imported cases of the new variant, meaning that Cambodia has now recorded 4,760 cases of Omicron, 696 imported, and 4,064 community cases. The kingdom's COVID-19 case tally has now climbed to 125,201. The death toll stands at 3,015. The number of patients treated successfully since the pandemic reached Cambodia is 119,880. And the tally for imported cases has climbed to 20,553. Healthcare workers are currently treating a total of 2,582 patients. Now for a look at news making international headlines this Friday, 18 February.
A devastating wildfire fueled by an unprecedented drought are ravaging hundreds of thousands of hectares of land in the northeastern province of Corrientes, causing serious economic and environmental damage. More than 519,000 hectares, 6% of the region's total area, underscoring the impact of dry weather due to the Nina weather pattern in the South American nation. A civil defense source says that the firefighters were working to bring the fire under control, with houses and a hotel near the provincial capital located about 800 kilometers north of Buenos Aires were evacuated as a precaution on Tuesday, February 15. Corrientes produces farm products including citrus fruits, rice, tobacco, yerba mate, cotton, livestock, and forestry. The president of the Rural Society for Corrientes, Nicolas Pino, says he hopes for strong rains to douse the blaze. He has also said that the fields eventually will recover. The National Meteorological Service is forecasting scant rain for the next few days, with only 5 to 10 millimeters expected. Argentina is in the midst of a second consecutive La Nina, a weather event that typically brings less rainfall to its central agricultural regions, which are key to the country's exports and foreign currency revenues.
Ukraine's military on Thursday, February 17, has accused Russian-backed forces in eastern Ukraine of firing shells at a village in the Luhansk region, hitting a kindergarten room. The military has said there were no injuries. Video released by Joint Forces Operation Press Service showed pile of bricks inside kindergarten room, hole in a wall, and shell crater in the ground outside the kindergarten. Earlier, Russian-backed separatists in eastern Ukraine have accused government forces of opening fire on their territory 4 times in the past 24 hours and said they were trying to establish if anyone had been hurt or killed.
Hurricane in Poland tore off roofs, knocked down trees and left hundreds of thousands of houses without electricity on Thursday, February the 17th. One of the residents recalls the wind blew seriously for not more than 5 minutes. Then they heard a loud swoosh, and that is the whole street is demolished. All the roofs are taking off. Houses collapsed and stones were falling from the sky. It only just took a few seconds, then all he saw was those whirlwinds. 2 construction workers were killed after heavy winds toppled a 20-metre crane. The crane operator and 3 workers were injured after the crane had collapsed under the wind pressure. According to Krakow police spokesman, many people were injured on the street. Aerial footage from the scene showed the crane lying horizontal across the construction site with debris scattered across cars and buildings. In Dozie Asvil's village in Poland's western Wielkopolska province, violent winds damaged the roofs of dozens of houses early on Thursday morning. According to the police state fire services, fire brigades have intervened over 1,400 times across the country on Thursday, removing fallen trees as well as helping residents to secure roofless homes for further damage of rain.
Allies have confirmed that NATO's door remains open. Any decision on NATO membership is for NATO allies and aspirant countries to take, nobody else. The right of each nation to choose its own path is absolutely fundamental for European and transatlantic security.
NATO defense ministers reaffirmed their strong commitment to open-door policy and the importance of partnerships. NATO allies continue their strong diplomatic efforts to find a political solution to the serious crisis triggered by Russia's military build-up in around Ukraine.
Well, look, NATO is on a path. That's been very clear. They are currently an opportunity partner alongside some of the Scandinavian countries who have that status. And it's clear we have an open path. So look, I think what we should recognise is that, yes, there are internal conflicts that have been caused by Russia's invasion, but fundamentally we remain an open door organisation. I've made it very clear to the Kremlin that, countries choose NATO. NATO doesn't go around choosing the countries. It is not the case, as President Putin often asserts, that somehow NATO is a sort of country of its own going around looking for countries to join. We have the open door policy and then 30 members make that decision. NATO's principled open door policy is absolutely clear and we're not going to change that. The NATO response to the Kremlin's treaty offer was we will not compromise on our values, we won't compromise on our open door policy, and we won't compromise on the core of us, which is the Article 5 self-defence method. We are a self-defence alliance, we're not an offensive alliance. So, our message to the likes of Georgia is, look, there are processes, but also we recognise there are challenges, which is what we see with Ukraine. But fundamentally, it's NATO's values that threaten the Kremlin more than it's ever NATO's troops. But I think there's quite a lot of, as they say in Russia, vranya going on. I think we have seen the opposite of some of the statements. We've seen an increase of troops over the last 48 hours, up to 7,000. We've seen a bridge constructed from Belarus into Ukraine or near Ukraine. And I think we should, as I've said, we'll take them at their word, but we're going to judge Russia by their actions. And at the moment, the troop build-up continues.
NATO and allies are helping Ukraine boast its ability to defend itself. Self-defense is a right enshrined in the UN Charter, and allies are helping Ukraine to uphold that right, including with trainers and military equipment for the Ukrainian armed forces, cyber and intelligence expertise, and with significant financial support. On the second day of NATO's defense ministers' meeting on February 17, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg says, allies confirm that NATO's door remains open. Any decision on NATO's membership is for NATO's allies and aspirant countries to take. Nobody else. The right of each nation to choose its own path is absolutely fundamental for European and transatlantic security, and it must be respected.
After the break, a look at all the latest sports news.
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
តើលោកអ្នកចិត្តរៀបអាពាហ៍ពិពាហ៍មែនទេហើយពិបាករកក្រុមហ៊ុនថតវីដេអូផ្សាយផ្ទាល់ដែលមានគុណភាពមែនទេអស់កង្វល់រ៉ាទីកាជាក្រុមហ៊ុនទទួលស្គាល់លំដាប់អន្តរជាតិលើសេវាកម្មថតផ្សាយផ្ទាល់គ្រប់កម្មវិធីកម្រិត 4K ដំបូងបង្អស់នៅកម្ពុជារ៉ាទីកាប្រើប្រាស់ឧបករណ៍ទំនើបម៉ាកល្បីធានាគុណភាពការផលិតតាមបច្ចេកវិទ្យាទាន់សម័យ រាតិកានឹងជួយធ្វើឲ្យកម្មវិធីលោកអ្នកកាន់តែមានភាពអស្ចារ្យលោកអ្នកនឹងបានឃើញរាល់សកម្មភាពក្នុងពិធីទៅលើកញ្ចក់ទូរទស្សន៍ទំហំធំកម្រិត 4K និងការបញ្ចាំងលើផ្ទាំងក្រណាត់សព្រមទាំង LED ដែលមានរូបភាពច្បាស់ត្រជាក់ភ្នែកសូមអញ្ជើញកក់ពីឥឡូវនេះតាមរយៈលេខទូរស័ព្ទ012 823 848 017 838 889 និង016 823 848 រាតិកាទំនុកចិត្តការទទួលខុសត្រូវនិងគុណភាពខ្ពស់
something, you about to see something. It's coming, we're unstoppable now. Ain't nothing gonna take us down, we're unstoppable now. Fade to black, take a bow, yeah. We're unstoppable now.
Cambodia, the host for the AFF U23, chalked up its second straight victory when it defeated the Philippines 1-0 last night. Midfielder Sinsuwan Makara scored the winning goal in the 81st minute in front of 17,780 spectators, despite the Philippine opponents putting a lot of pressure on Cambodia from the first half.
Cambodia inched closer for the place in the semi-finals of the AFF Under-23 Championships 2022 when they edged the Philippines 1-0 in a decisive tie of Group A this evening at the Muradoc Teko National Stadium. Despite having the lion's share of the possession throughout the tight exchange, a late strike from Sin Savannah-Makara 9 minutes into the end settled things as the host picked up the second 4 points from the 2 matches they played. But with several chances deserving of a better finish and with the leader from captain Tez Sambat coming after a crossbar in the first half, the Cambodians combined to press their opponents into the second half. With more than 17,000 fans, the Cambodians got down to business from the get-go and they pushed forward in numbers. The atmosphere was static with the buzz around the stadium when Makara kicked the winning goal. It leaves Cambodia on top of their group with 2 wins and no losses. Cambodians' next opponent is Timor at Muradoc Teko Stadium on Sunday the 20th of February.
Canada beat the United States 3-2 to win the women's ice hockey final at the Beijing Olympics on Thursday, reclaiming the gold medal the Americans had taken from them 4 years ago in Pyeongchang.
Captain Marie-Philip Poulin scored twice, including the game winner after Canadian sharpshooter Sarah Nurse got the team going midway through the first period as an outgunned US team recorded 40 shots on goal to Canada's 21 across the entire affair, but were unable to convert where it counted. 4-time Olympian Hilary Knight got the United States on board with a short-handed effort with less than 4 minutes to go in the second, and Amanda Kessel converted on a power play with 13 seconds to go in the third after the US pulled their goalie to bring the contest to a nail-biting conclusion. Once the final seconds ticked off the clock, the Canadians celebrated, throwing their gloves in the air and mobbing each other in a scene of utter joy, having earned sweet redemption 4 years after the Americans ended their run of 4 straight goals in a devastating shoutout loss. Nurse made history with the most points and assists in a single women's Olympic tournament, while Poulin, who had already earned the nickname Captain Clutch before Thursday's effort, ended the day as Beijing's second scoring leader. Finland defeated Switzerland with the previous day to take bronze.
Olympic 1500-meter champion Jakob Ingebrigtsen broke the world indoor record for the distance on Thursday night in another display of speed and strength that suggests his Tokyo success was only the start.
The Norwegian shaved almost half a second off the old mark held by Ethiopian Samuel Tefra, clocking 3 minutes, 30.60 seconds at the World Athletics Indoor Tour Gold meeting in Levia, France. The 21-year-old tucked in behind the pacemakers for the first half of the race before surging clear of everyone except for Tefra, who remained in touch until the 300 metres from home. Ingebrigtsen covered the final lap of the 200-metre track with 27.5 seconds and to finish more than 3 seconds clear of Tefra. This is always a fast race and it's really nice arena, Ingebrigtsen said. I like to finish strong. I think it's nice for the crowd, but it's also nice for me to speed up going into the finish. In Tokyo last year, he'd become the first man from his nations to win the 1500 metres, powering away from his rivals down the final straight.
Now let's have a look at the weather and what you can expect tomorrow. And finally, an Israeli farmer has grown the world's heaviest strawberry, according to the Guinness World Records. At 289 grams, the strawberry was about 5 times the average weight of a berry of this variety, said Nir Dai, a researcher and the strawberry breeder at Israel Volcanic Institute, where the strain was developed.
The strawberry was 18 centimeters long, 4 centimeters wide, and 34 centimeters in circumference, according to the Guinness World Records website. It has looked like several berries fused at the greeny leafy cap, forming the shape of a handheld fan. Chahi Ariel, who found the record-breaking strawberry at the Ariel family farm, located in Kadima Zoran, local council says it's uplifting and they have been waiting for it for a long time. Cold weather conditions in early 2021 has slowed the record-breaking strawberry's ripening process, allowing it to continue gaining weight, Ariel added. This kind of strawberry, called Ilan, tends to grow large and temperature highly affects its growth. The fruit is heaviest in the winter and can weigh up to 60 grams, researcher and strawberry breeder Nir Dai has said. The giant strawberry was found a year ago and kept in a freezer until now, until the record was confirmed, the excited Chahi Ariel has said. The previous record was held by a Japanese farmer who discovered a strawberry weighing 250 grams.
Thank you for watching the Daily Roundup here on EAC News Channel. For more breaking news and updates, check our website eacnews.asia or search EAC News on Telegram or at your favorite app store. More from EAC News team tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We will see you then.